Hey everybody, welcome to another session of LO1 for Advantage. I have a dear friend of mine, I consider him a brother, family member, Denny Andrews out of Seattle, who coaches, mentors Fortune 500 companies. He is here with us today to share a huge, I don't know, what really is the most important to me is database management and how to connect, engage, but more importantly, how to put them in a way that you can engage and interact with them. So Denny, without further ado, man, I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you spending time with us today. Take it away.
All right, thanks, Scotty, Paul. Yeah, and you guys feel free to, to slow me down or interrupt me if I get going on too much of a roll here. But
All right.
So today's topic is digital business contacts management, and we're actually with LO1 for Advantage and the Animals. We're actually doing a series right now, and we've got 5 topics we're covering. We're on topic 2, contacts and data management. The first one, which we covered, is on branding and your corporate identity. Then now we're going to do contacts, data management today, and then over the next month we've got information management, your internet or online presence, and then advertising, promotion, and traffic. But all of this other stuff we're doing, information, internet, online presence, advertising, all this stuff is really to make contacts. And what happens is a lot of people just miss this step that we're going to do today. They come up with a great brand, they manage their information well, and they go out there and they're online and they're getting a lot of traffic, but they're not managing their data, and so they're just letting all these leads that they're working so hard to get slip right through the cracks. So just a real quick review on branding. What we covered was setting up a marketing plan with your brand, all your logos, benefits, features, what problems do you solve, asking yourself these main questions: who are my last 5 customers, what were my last 5 advertising expenses, my last 5 marketing expenses, in what ways have I touched my customers the last 5 times, where did my last 5 referrals come from. This is like a 5 exercise, but it's a really great exercise to go back and look at what you're doing and what's working to bring you business. Then we covered a bunch of Google's tools, which are fantastic free tools to monitor your brand and do keyword searches. A lot of people don't know about Google Groups. Great place to go and find groups. You can find 10,000 groups on any topic that you want. So it's a really great place to go and find out what people are talking about when it comes to your business or your brand. Then Google AdWords to find your keyword. Then we closed the last training with learning what are called search operators. And Google as a search engine is really just a big computer program that you can tell what you want. So we covered all the different ways that you can tell Google exactly what kind of content you want to bring back. So when you do a search, instead of getting 10 million pages of results, you end up with 3 pages of pinpointed results, exactly what you want. Makes a huge difference when you're doing work online. Okay, so that's all of that we covered in the last training we did on branding. Now we're going to get into relationships. CRM, Customer Relationship Manager, and this is really where the difference comes in, is when you can start to manage these relationships and manage these contacts instead of just having them sit there on Facebook or Twitter or wherever you have most of your contacts right now. This can make a huge difference. So a CRM, Customer Relationship Manager, is like ACT or Zoho, or it integrates sales, marketing, analysis, communication, everything into one tool. And by the time we finish this presentation, you're going to really understand what I'm talking about. Now, most people right now use like Google Contacts or Outlook as their CRM. Those are email programs, or or database programs. They're not CRMs, and there's a huge difference between a CRM and a database program. Now, when I talk to people and I say, okay, first thing we need to do is the most important thing you have are all your contacts. So we need to take all your contacts, put them in one place so we can see exactly how big of a list you have and how well have you been taking care of all these contacts that you have. And most people are like, well, I've got Outlook, or well, I don't really have a CRM. I don't have a database. I haven't really been taking, this is new to me. I haven't been taking care of my contacts. All my contacts are in my loan processing software. I mean, don't worry, because that's where 99% of the people are. but everybody has big contact lists if they look at it a different way. So for instance,
one thing, Denny, I want to make clear is as you go through this presentation, guys, everybody on this call, I want you to think about it as like, okay, how do I incorporate this in my business, but also you're going to get the PowerPoint, you're going to get the recording, incorporate it and do this in your business because he's going to show you some crazy stuff, but also think about teaching your agents how to do the exact same thing, because if you teach them how to stay in front of their database, like better and faster and all this stuff, and how to engage and interact on social media, it's just going to help you because they're going to have more referrals coming in. So think about it not just for you, but for your referral partners as well.
Yeah, that's a great point, Scotty, and I forgot to mention that because I got a lot to cover, but one of the things I always try to say is any content that we're sharing with you to help you in your business, as loan officers, you get double, because not only do you get to use it in your business, but then you also have content you can turn around and go out and share with attorneys, CPAs, financial planners, and real estate agents. So everything that we're doing that will work for you will also work for all of them. And most of the time, at least I like to think so, we're on the cutting edge doing stuff that most of these people have never heard of.
Yes.
So when you take this out to them, you're going to get that wow factor too. Okay, so I mentioned Google Contacts before and Outlook. These are databases, but Facebook and LinkedIn are also databases. Now, you don't own those databases, obviously. LinkedIn and Facebook does, but they're your contacts on there. So what I want to show you how to do is take those contacts from Facebook, LinkedIn, from your different online databases that you have, and learn how to use those and own that data instead of having it just sit out there on the cloud. And you can see this image right here. This is the way a database really works, or a CRM. You have all kinds of data or fields, and it's all interrelated to all the other data. So as you start to do this, you could click a button, for instance, loan amount. It'll sort all of your data by loan amount. So there's all that. Once you have this stuff into a CRM, the way that you can use it is so powerful in communicating with your database. Now, the one thing that all these programs have in common, and even like Twitter and if you're using an Access database or Point as a processing system, whatever it might be, all these programs give you the ability to export to what's called a CSV file. So this is going to be what everything revolves around as we move forward. CSV stands for comma separated values, and it's basically a data backup format. You can export from Outlook into this. You can export from Google Contacts, from Gmail, from Yahoo Mail, from LinkedIn, from Facebook. Everywhere you have data, you can export to a CSV file. So as we're moving through this, you want to keep that in mind, that CSV is the file format that allows all this data to come together.
And I know Google accepts CSV, so anything that you could ever imagine accepts CSV.
Right, CSV is like the standard. And when you download your data into a CSV file, if you double-click on that file, it will actually open up in whatever your spreadsheet program is. So this is Excel. This is a CSV file I opened up in it, and you can see first name, last name, email, company, job title. So this, at least in my opinion, this is a much easier way to do widespread scans of your data and sort and sift all of your contacts looking at something like this, as opposed to trying to go through all your contacts on Facebook or LinkedIn. This is much quicker and easier to manage. So you can see this is exactly what your CSV file will look like. Also, something I want to mention is if you don't have Excel, it helps a lot to have a spreadsheet program. So basically it's like Office, Microsoft Office, but it's free. It's called OpenOffice. And if you go to openoffice.org, you can download OpenOffice, which has a similar program to Word, a similar program to Excel, a similar program to PowerPoint, and it's free. So if you don't have,
what about Google Docs? Does that work?
Google Docs works, but I know I talk about Google and storing everything online and everything.
Yeah.
but I'd still be a little wary about storing every single contact you've ever had online.
Okay.
You know, I mean, I like to keep it on my hard drive.
Okay.
Google Docs will work,
okay.
But then, of course, the other thing you have, too, is if you're dealing with 3,000 contacts,
right.
You know, doing that over a wireless connection or an internet connection is going to be a lot slower than working with it right on your hard drive. And like I said, you can still just download OpenOffice, which is free if you don't have Office, and then once you download it, you're actually working right off your hard drive.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so then Google Contacts and Outlook, you can actually go two ways with this. You can download to a CSV file, but then you can also turn around and upload from a CSV file. So if you upload from a CSV file, once you create your CSV file and you clean all your contacts, you can turn around and put all those right back into Outlook or into Google or into a CRM, which I'm going to show you how to do here in just a little bit. And just like OpenOffice, the basic version of this CRM is free, like 99% of the technology that we show you guys how to use. Okay, to start with Google, what you're going to do is when you're in your Gmail account, you just go here and you click on Gmail, and there's a drop down and it shows Gmail, Contacts, and Tasks. So you want to click on Contacts. Now some people are like, well, I've never set up my contacts, or I've never been there, so I don't have anything there. That's not entirely true, because what happens every time you send and receive an email in Gmail, Gmail automatically stores those contacts for you. So you may have never used contacts, but I mean, I've had people that have been using Gmail for 2 years, never once opened the contact manager, and they're like, oh, well, I don't store my contacts in Gmail. And I'm like, yeah, well, why don't you take a look?
Yeah,
and they look, and they've got like 720 contacts in Gmail that they've been communicating with over the last few years that they didn't even know were there, because Gmail automatically stores all the emails that you send to and receive from. So even if you use Gmail but you don't think you have a database there, take a look, because you probably do. So this is what your contacts looks like right here: names, email, phone numbers, you know, anything. And then you can also go here, this plus sign right here, and you can create groups. So if you want to have a group of just mortgage clients or just CPAs or whatever you want. I mean, it's not a CRM, but it does give you the ability to do a pretty good job of organizing your information, because once you have a group, then you can email to just that group. So here, right down here where it says Other Contacts, this is the left side of your Gmail contacts where it says Other Contacts. This is where all your contacts get stored that you send and receive email from. So you may have no groups, 0 contacts up here when you first look at it, and most people are like, oh, well, just like I thought, I don't have any contacts. Well, go down here to the bottom and look where it says Other Contacts. Click on that, and you'll have a huge list of names and email addresses that you've been corresponding with through email, you know, for as long as you've had your Gmail account.
Awesome.
The other thing here is you can see here, this is where you go to import your contacts, and you can also set up groups from here. So to export your contacts, and we're starting with Gmail, and we'll work through a couple of these different databases, all you do here is you go to More, and then you click right here, Export. And then what that's going to do is it's going to bring up an export box, which you're going to see over and over. This export here, Export Contacts. Which contacts do you want to export? Now, if you want, you can only export the current group. You can select only certain contacts, or you can export all of them. And then, as I said, you've got your CSV, which is the standard, and then a lot of programs also do V-cards for Apple Address Book. But here you can see there's Google CSV or Outlook CSV. So if you want to download your Google contacts and upload them into Outlook, then export them to the Outlook CSV, and then it's basically an Outlook program or a file, and then you can upload it right into Outlook very easily. Okay, so if you're just going to go to Outlook, or if you're going to go from Outlook to Google, you want to export to a Google CSV format. If you're just doing this to back up all your data and then start to clean it and use it, go ahead and export to the Google CSV format. Okay, there's not a big difference between the two, but if you know you're going to Outlook, you may as well export to Outlook. Then this is going to pop up. It's going to say contacts. You can name it whatever you want. Go to your hard drive or whatever, and then click save. And then that's going to save all your contacts into that CSV or that spreadsheet file on your desktop. Then if you want, you can go back here, and if you're going the other way, like I showed you before, you just go to your Gmail account here. You go here to import contacts, click on that, and then this is going to pop up going the other way. We support CSV, Outlook Express, Yahoo Mail, Hotmail, all those. Please select a CSV or V card to upload. You click Choose File, select the CSV file off your desktop, and you can import that right back into Google or Gmail. So if you have all your contacts in Outlook, you can export those contacts from Outlook and import those right into your Gmail contact manager if you want to. Okay, so that's how you export and import your data from Gmail or from Google Contacts. It's basically the same thing. Now, LinkedIn, and this is where it gets really interesting because most people don't even know you can do this. I mean, when I ask them, well, how many contacts do you have? And they're like, well, I've only got like 200 in Outlook or whatever it is. Well, then when you go to Gmail, they pick up another 400 or 500. Then you go to LinkedIn, and if they network at all, there's another 500 or 600 that they can pick up right there. Now, LinkedIn is one of the easiest programs to export from, and they actually allow you to do this. They don't give you a lot of data, but they do allow you to export. So my suggestion is if you're trying to bring all your data together, all your contacts, and get the most current information, go to LinkedIn and go out and connect to all the people you're doing business with if you haven't already. So if you've got people, realtors, CPAs, clients, whoever, that you haven't connected to on LinkedIn, go connect to them first before you do this export, because you're going to be able to export all your contacts info on LinkedIn. So go connect to them. Then from LinkedIn, what you're going to do is across the top, the toolbar, you go to Contacts, and then you click on Connections on LinkedIn, okay? So when you click on this, it's going to bring you to your Connections page. Now, at the bottom, the lower right corner, it says Export Connections here. Now, it's nowhere up in the top, so if you don't look down at the bottom, you're never going to find it. And they don't particularly make it easy to find, but it's right down here in the lower right corner. It says Export Connections. When you click on that, it's going to take you to another page, just like Gmail did, and it says Export to, and you've got the default is Microsoft Outlook CSV. Well, right there, if you wanted to, if you forget everything else, if you just do an export from LinkedIn to an Outlook file and then upload it into Outlook, now all of a sudden you have every single one of your LinkedIn contacts, their name, their email, their title, and the business that they work for, all in your Outlook program. So that right there is a very simple thing to do, but can really help you a lot in working with all your contacts. Now, when you hit the drop down here, it takes you right here, and you can see it has Microsoft Outlook CSV, Outlook Express CSV, Yahoo Mail CSV. So it's got different versions of CSV, but it doesn't matter which one you pick because every single one of those is going to open up in a spreadsheet. So then the next box is it asks you for a CAPTCHA just to make sure that you're a real person and it's not some computer trying to download all your data. Then the same thing pops up, just like Google did. This pops up, Save As, LinkedIn Connections, Export, and then it says Microsoft Outlook.csv. You click Save, and it saves it right onto your hard drive. Then if you double click on it, just like we did before, whatever your spreadsheet program is, it's going to open up, and now you've got your first name, your last name, your email. Now here's the thing, when you open this up in a CSV file, in LinkedIn, they only give you 5 fields. I mean, it's plenty because you get the name and the email. Those are the main ones. But they only give you first name, last name, email, and then they give you the person's job title and who they work for, and that's it. So you've got all these other fields in here, business phone number, business address, home address, tons and tons of fields that you're never going to use, that you don't actually need in here. So this is one of the ways that I refer to as cleaning these databases. So what you want to do is you want to click on all at the top all of these fields that don't have any data in them because they're just wasted space, and it's going to make it more difficult when you're exporting this data to another program. So what you want to do is just click on the top, and it's going to highlight it, and then scroll across, and so it's all highlighted like this, and then go right-click, and this will pop up, and then delete. And you want to delete all of those empty fields, all those empty columns, just delete them. Because when you try to upload to another program, the program's going to see that column header and try to find that data. There's no data there, and it's probably going to lock up on you, and it's going to make it a real headache trying to upload this information to somewhere where you can, really make use of it. So you just right-click on it, delete it. Then what you're going to end up with is a spreadsheet that looks like this, where you've got first name, last name, email, company, job title, and that's it. There's no other columns. And all of your data is right here that you just downloaded from LinkedIn. So now that this is all clean, you've only got 5 fields, but it's all cleaned up. You've deleted all the other columns. Then all you do is you go File, Save As, and you've got it here. And then you save it as a comma separated values right here, CSV again. Hit Save. And now you have all of your LinkedIn connections in a CSV file that not only that you have backed up and saved, but that you can now import into any other program you're using, whether it's Outlook, Google Contacts, Act, whatever it is. Okay? Does that make sense, Scotty?
Absolutely, absolutely, man, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, and guys, going back to why this is so important, he's showing that this is the most exciting one coming up here, but with LinkedIn, I mean, I don't know if you didn't show this, but there's a place to add your connections from your Gmail or whatever email you have to connect with them in LinkedIn. I would highly recommend doing that as well, just to get your contacts to connect, because you want to be playing on all the social, the major ones, like Facebook and LinkedIn are probably the top dogs. Pinterest is, coming in a close second, close third. I think actually second now, but you got to be on Facebook and LinkedIn because that's where everybody I guarantee everybody is on one or the other.
Well, yeah, and then the other thing that's nice about this is, so many people have 3-4 email addresses.
Correct.
Well, LinkedIn is kind of like your business center, for everybody. So when you download their name, their company, and their email off of LinkedIn,
yeah,
you usually have their best and most current email.
Correct.
So,
absolutely.
Yeah, so that's a great way to go. Okay, now, Facebook, now this is another story. Facebook actually doesn't allow you to download their data. They won't let you, even though it's your friends and your contacts. Not unlike Gmail and unlike LinkedIn, they don't set up a way for you to do it. So we got to kind of do a workaround. One workaround that at least works right now, these will change, but this works for the time being, is go to friends2gmail.com. And the reason they call it Friends to Gmail is because it downloads your friend's contact info into a CSV file, which you can then upload into Gmail. So they call it Friends to Gmail, but it's really Friends to CSV. But most people don't know what CSV is, so they don't do it. They don't call it that. So friends2gmail.com. Then you click this button right here, Connect with Facebook. Okay, it's going to ask you, the app's going to come up, Friends to Gmail, which log into your Facebook account. Okay, you click Log In.
That's insane, man. That is too easy.
And then once you've authenticated your account with Facebook, this Load Friends button comes up. Okay?
Wow.
So you click Load Friends, and then I've got 1197 friends. So then this thing starts rotating, and it downloads all your friends and all their information out of Facebook. So then what happens is all of this information goes into a text file instead of a CSV file.
Okay.
So it looks like this. This is all your Facebook info right here. So what you want to do is you highlight this entire text file, and it goes on and on and on and on. Highlight the entire thing, and then copy it. Then you want to paste it into a text file. So this is facebook.txt. This is my text file that I saved it to. Well, now you've got this text file on your hard drive, and you have all of your Facebook info on it. Now, unless you see the matrix when you look at stuff, you're not going to really be able to read this or use it very well because it's a text file and it's all it's all formatted where it's very difficult to use. So what you want to do at this point is you've saved your facebook.txt on your hard drive. So now you're going to go and you're going to open up Excel or your spreadsheet program, and you're going to go File, Import, just right here, File, Import, and you're going to find, and it says what type of file do you want to import. So you're going to go down here and click Text File right here. See this?
Yep.
Click on Text File, and then you're going to find that Facebook file of yours. So when you find the Facebook file, it's going to give you a preview. Now you can see here, all of a sudden, all that data that we were looking at in that text file that was all screwed up, now all of a sudden it looks good. You can read it. It actually makes sense here. So what you want to do is you pick ASCII, Western ASCII, as the format here, other encoding, Western ASCII. Now you can pick MS-DOS or Mac, but the main thing is to look down here and make sure that this all makes sense. As long as you can read what's in here, when you import all that data into Excel, it's going to make sense. So you can read everything right here. You're importing that text file, so then you click OK. Well, now you've got your Excel spreadsheet right here, name, given name, family name, and it goes on and on and on and on with all of your Facebook information, all your Facebook friends and contacts info right here in this file. Now this is an XLX file, so then what you're going to do next is go File, Save As, CSV. Now you have all your LinkedIn contacts in a CSV file, all your Gmail and Google contacts in a CSV file, and all your Facebook contacts in a CSV file. So you have everything together now in a series of different CSV files, but you've got everything backed up, all your contacts. Okay? So next, now I'm going to show you the difference between having these contacts in, let's say, Outlook versus actually using a CRM.
That was amazing what you just showed right there.
Dude, that's sick.
That was worth the price of admission.
Jenny,
and I'm going to have to watch it twice more because that was just that was awesome. Very it's a cool it's technical, but boy oh boy is it huge to have the ability to do that.
Oh yeah, I mean once you do that, and then when I show you what you can do with this data in the CRM, I mean it's absolutely amazing. And there's another training that I guess we're probably going to have to do, but basically what it does is it shows you how to take all those CSV files and combine them into one file and then search for duplicates, combine your data, and clean the whole thing so you end up with one CSV file of all your contacts and all their information together, as opposed to having 2, 3, 4, 5 separate CSV files for each of the different systems.
I'd probably just use Gmail. Couldn't you use Gmail, throw it in there, and then just like merge duplicates?
Yeah, you could, exactly. You could just upload it, because now that you've got CSVs, you can upload it all into Gmail or Outlook or wherever and go merge duplicates, and it will take care of that for you.
Awesome.
Okay, so Zoho. Now, Zoho is a CRM. Zoho has probably, I don't know, maybe 60 different programs built into it. We're just going to look at the CRM one today, but there are all kinds of stuff that you can do with Zoho. So the CRM actually combines marketing and then sales and then orders and then supporting your customers, and then it just goes around and around in that kind of a circle here. So when you go to Zoho.com, this is what the CRM looks like. The first thing you're going to want to do is on the front page of Zoho, you want to scroll down, and it's not intuitive. It's not easy to find, but when you scroll down, then it shows you all the business applications that they have. And you can see they've got calendars, notebooks, reports, a recruiting program. For programmers, they have a bug tracker, creator. You don't care about any of this stuff. What you want right here is CRM. So you're going to click on CRM, and it's going to take you back to here. Now, if you don't have a Zoho account, all you do is click Sign Up Now, and Zoho is free. You can sign up.
The price is pretty expensive, isn't it?
Right, yeah. You can sign up and start using it, and it won't cost you a cent. So obviously it's the basic version, but it's enough for what we're going through right here, especially if you're not currently using a CRM. So click Sign Up Now, sign up for your account, and then when you go to Zoho, what's going to happen is this is what your dashboard looks like in Zoho. And you've got your contacts, your open tasks, your recent contacts, phone calls that you need to make. So it really is a customer relationship manager. Well, what you're going to do is go here to your contacts. See this right here across the top? Click on contacts. When you click on that, it takes you to your contacts here. Now this is a drop down right here, which is really cool because you can set up multiple views. So you can have all my LinkedIn contacts, all my Gmail contacts, all my borrowers, all my referral partners. And whenever you click this button and go to that view, it's only going to bring up those contacts. But from right here with those CSV files that you have, what you're going to do is go over here and click Import Contacts. Okay, just like you would do with any other program. Right there, Import Contacts. And then, of course, once you're using it, if you want to create new contacts on the fly, you do that right here. But when you click that, and then it's going to pull all of your contacts right into Zoho, and then they're going to all be there. Now, once you have them all in Zoho, now you've got all your CSV contacts are in there. Then you can go here, which is right above Import Contacts, to the search bar. And let's say if you just know like 3 or 4 letters of the person's email, or you just remember the first 3 numbers of their phone number, or their address, or their first name, or their last name, or whatever it is, you put that information in this search and you click search. It pulls up every single contact that matches that. Then it also searches all your leads, all your tasks, all your events, all your calls, all your campaigns, all your notes. It searches everything and brings back every single match for that piece of data that you've typed in there, no matter what it is. So I've typed in Antonio, so here he is, Antonio. I click on his name, and it brings up his record right here. Okay, now, Antonio is a friend of mine who's actually a VIP host down in Vegas, and I got to know him really well at one point in my life. And I haven't talked to him for I'd probably been about 2 years, but I did this download. I downloaded all my LinkedIn contacts, which we connected on years ago, and I uploaded him into Zoho. So when he popped up in Zoho, I was like, man, I haven't talked to him for a long time. So you can see, if you want, you can click Facebook or LinkedIn, and it will go to Facebook or LinkedIn as long as the email is correct, which you know it is because you uploaded it from LinkedIn, and it'll populate this with his photo. Now, as you scroll down, this is really a sophisticated relationship manager. So you can see here you've got the name, contact owner, email, and then you've got quick actions. You can add a new task for this person, add a new event. You can send them a quick email. You can add a new phone call you need to make to them right here to really manage that contact. But as you scroll down, you've also got all of this information, and this is completely customizable. You can set these as drop-downs. So contact name, email, status, lead source. You can do loan amount. You can do interest rate. You can do company, contact type. If you have more than one business, which company are they interested in? So it goes on and on and on, all the different ways that you can manage this data. Then from here, it goes down further, you can add notes. You can add unlimited notes for this contact. So every time you talk to them, every time you send them an email, whatever you do, you can put the notes in here. You can store attachments. So if you send them a good faith or an approval letter or whatever, you can go here, click desktop, and you can attach those documents to this client's record. So anytime you pull up this client's record, whether it's on your iPad, your computer, your office computer, wherever it is, all those attachments are going to show right here, so you can view them while you're talking to your contact. Then you've got potentials, activities, closed activities, emails. So down here, any emails that you send or receive to this contact through Zoho, through this CRM, are going to pop up right here. So not only do you have all their information, all your conversations, all your calls, but you also have all your documents and all your emails that have gone back and forth with this contact. So that, I mean, you can't possibly track and take better care of clients and customers and contacts than using a system like this that basically allows you to store and sort everything about a contact.
No question.
Then once you do that and you've got all this information, then when you go, like let's say you go back to Gmail, you can then, here up on the upper right, this pops up where you can then add them to Circles, you can add them to Google+, you can do all kinds of stuff right from within that Zoho CRM.
Wow.
So once again, this is the dashboard right here, and then as I mentioned, when you go to Contacts, you can go and click on Contacts. It'll bring up all your contacts, and then right here, these are the drop downs like I told you. So these are predefined views. So if you want to see all your contacts, if you want to see, well, these are all your organization's contacts. So if you're using this for a company, then if you want to see just your contacts, or just contacts that are new this week, or new from last week, or just contacts that you haven't read, or just contacts that you've created a mailing label for, or recently created. Then down here, you have user-created views, email newsletter contacts, Fannie email, Fannie Mae leads, follow-up, has an email, no email. So you can set up user-created views here, and anytime you click on one of those, it's going to just bring up the contacts that fit that search parameter. Then here, this is cool. On the left side, there's like a banner on the left side that says recent items. You can click on that while you're in Zoho, and it will bring up the last 10 contacts that you've worked with. So oftentimes, you'll have 3 or 4 contacts that you're spending a lot of time with on a certain day working on. Using this, you click on recent items, you can instantly pull up that person's record and work on it. Now, this is where you're going to spend a lot of time in Zoho when you're getting started. This is the dashboard, but then up here on the right, it says Setup, okay, right here, and it's easy to miss. When you click on this Setup link, it's going to take you to this page right here, and this is the heart and the guts of Zoho, and from here, you can customize all your fields, your layouts, your search layouts, custom views, your name, your signature, your account info. You can do web to lead forms where you click on this and you create a form and it gives you the HTML code. You copy and paste that code and put it in your blog or your website. Anybody that fills that form out, it actually whisks their information across the internet, puts it into Zoho, and then follows up with an email and whatever you directed it to do. But that information shows up in Zoho, and right here, it shows up that you can set this up right here, so it will say new leads. Every time a new lead comes off your website, it will show up right here, right on your dashboard, and you'll see it every time a new lead comes in.
Awesome.
Now, what I'm going to show you now actually does cost some money. I mean, it's stupid how it's $5 a month, and what you do is you go here to Zoho Apps in the settings, and you add Zoho Mail. Okay, it's $5 a month for Zoho Mail, but that really makes this whole thing just sing. If you look here, once you have Zoho Mail, you can go here. This is where you can customize your fields list. You can do drop downs. You can do, I mean, all your customization you can do from right here. Users and permissions. It can take a little bit to get used to, but for the power that it gives you, especially when you've loaded in all of your LinkedIn, Facebook, Outlook, Gmail, Yahoo Mail, Hotmail, you know, all your contacts into this one system, having everything here. You can see here you can add up to 130 custom fields to Zoho. So there's really nothing that you're not going to be able to sort by once you get in here. But this is a really cool part. So I've got my buddy Antonio back up. I go over here and I click Send Mail. Okay? When I click this Send Mail, instantly this email box pops up right here. It's got my name in here, and it automatically fills his email in. Well, then I can go up here and click on this drop down right here, and it gives me a drop down of all the email templates that I've created. Okay. So one of the templates that I created for LinkedIn is been a while. I mean, I've got, you know, 1,200, I don't know, contacts on LinkedIn, maybe 50 of which I've talked to in the last few months. Everybody else, you know, I've connected to, maybe we've messaged back and forth, but haven't talked to in a long time. So, and this Antonio down in Vegas is definitely one of those people. So I click on the been a while template, and it automatically fills in the whole template. Hi, first name. We haven't talked in forever. Just wanted to drop you an email and catch back up. Are you still a contact title with contact company? So these fields right here are pulled in from LinkedIn.
Wow.
So all I did was click one button, and I pulled up Antonio, and then I clicked send mail and a drop down, been a while. So now he gets this email that says, hi, it's been a while, and here's what it looks like to him. Hi, Antonio. We haven't talked in forever. Just wanted to drop you an email and catch back up. Are you still Executive VIP Director with Monsoon Group Las Vegas?
Oh.
Got a couple things going as usual, but would love to reconnect. So all I did was click 2 buttons, and I sent this email. Now, if you want, you could actually send a couple hundred of them all at once, but you don't want to do that because you're just going to be slammed. I mean, I just sent a dozen, just 12 of these. And actually, I sent one of them to Carl White, and it was funny because when I did this training, Carl was watching, and Carl's like, I had no idea that was a template.
No kidding.
I had no clue that it was a template. And then, so now that shows you not only how to manage all your contacts and connect to them, but how to automate email updates, and that you can access, once you have this information in Google or Zoho, you can access this information from any internet-connected device, anywhere. I've got one more quick example to show you, and then we can do some questions. Right here, this is a good friend of mine that has a mortgage company. And this is, I set him up in Zoho, and I actually exported all of his contact data from Point, from his processing system. So we have exported it to a CSV. You can see here we've got loan amounts, loan officer, current rate, and then we put in desired rate, you know, what rate could they qualify for right now? What's their loan program? So because we did this in a spreadsheet, we were able to calculate in the spreadsheet what their monthly and annual savings are on their current loan. So then this showed up in Zoho. Loan program, current rate, desired rate, annual savings, monthly savings. Well, because this information is in Zoho, we can use this information in a template.
That's what I was just going to say. You can put it in a template.
And so that's what we did. So we created an email template. Hello, George, or first name. In the last couple of years, we helped you with your real estate financing. My name's Jim. I'm a broker. Mortgage rates are all-time lows. I ran the numbers on your last loan, and it showed a loan amount of contacts loan amount. Although your current balance is less than the amount we show, contacts loan amount, you may be able to refi, which could reduce your monthly payment by monthly savings and save you approximately annual savings per year. Now I have could reduce and approximately, but these numbers are exact.
Right.
So when the client gets this, when the client gets that email, those numbers are dead on. There is no way in a million years do they think that they're getting a template.
Right, right.
They think someone sat down and took the time to run the numbers, run the interest rate, figure out their loan amount, what their savings is, and type all that into an email.
That's crazy, man.
So that, you know, Zoho, now here's the other thing about Zoho is that $5 a month, that gives you email. You know, you can use email in Zoho. Otherwise, everything up until the email is free. So if you just want a really great way to track your contacts and store documents and take notes and set up fields and everything else, the Zoho free version is dynamite for that. Now, if you upgrade from the $5, from the $0 a month to $12 a month in Zoho, 12 bucks, that gives you what's called the professional version. In the pro version, you can send up to 200 emails a day. So you could run a search of your top 200 biggest loan amounts and send all 200 of them that email that we just looked at.
Okay.
Or you could run your top 100 LinkedIn contacts, send all 100 of them that been a while template. Then the other thing that professional lets you do is it will consistently update your data when you upload CSV files. So every 3 months, you could do a LinkedIn download and a LinkedIn upload to Zoho, and Zoho's only going to change the fields where the information has changed. Otherwise, all your information is going to stay the same.
That's very cool.
So it's also really cool that you could take and upload all your LinkedIn contacts. Then you could upload all your CSV contacts from Gmail. Then you could upload all your CSV contacts from Outlook, then Facebook, then Twitter, or whatever else you want.
Right.
But it's only going to overwrite the fields that don't have something where the content's changing. If it's the same, it's going to keep it the same. So that right there, the amount of time that will save you. Now, as you said, Scotty, you can also do it through Google Contacts.
Right.
But Google Contacts is only going to give you certain fields. With Zoho, you can have up to 130 customized fields.
Okay.
And for the $12 a month to be able to manage your information this way, I mean, it's, there's lots of contact databases out there, but for me, there's Act and Goldmine and all kinds of stuff, but Zoho's pretty easy, and also I really like the fact that it's cloud-based.
No question. Well, I tell you, it blows my mind that that this is available, and like 99% of what you showed is free. Not only that, it's just amazing that you can pull the stuff from, because Facebook is like a big deal. You know what I mean? There's people have more contacts there than probably anywhere else, just because it's so easy to like somebody and friend somebody and join whatever it is. It's insane.
Same with LinkedIn. It's rare when I find somebody who actually has a CRM that they're working and they've got it updated so that all the information's current in it.
Oh yeah.
But the 1 in a million person that you find that has a CRM and all the information's current, still, even that person, their information isn't as current as what's on LinkedIn.
No question. No question. For sure.
And so being able to show them, the 1 in a million person you find that has a CRM and is using it, being able to show them, oh, well, here, let me show you how you can quickly update, all your LinkedIn contacts in your CRM is awesome. But 99% of the time, you're not going to find anybody that has even a CRM. I mean, this is just going to be so new to most people.
I'm sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead.
I can't even tell you how crazy this would be if you took this presentation and showed a real estate agent who 99% of the time has no database whatsoever. They don't think they do. But if you instantly took a person that thought they had a couple hundred, like you said, which is what I get every single day, to a couple thousand, because that's typically what it turns into, because between LinkedIn, Facebook, and Gmail, I mean, if you don't have 1,000 there, something's wrong. You haven't been in business long enough.
Right. Oh yeah, you'll definitely have 1,000.
Yeah, no question.
And so, as you said, the money's in the list, right?
Absolutely.
The database is the most important thing, because those are people that know you, and it's 10 times more expensive to get a new client than it is to get business from an existing client. Yeah. So the problem is most people don't even know that they have all these contacts. And so when you go and you use this to download all these contacts, you've just doubled, tripled, or quadrupled the number of contacts that you have. And then, of course, it goes without saying, if you want to do an email newsletter or whatever else, you've got all this information.
Well,
it's awesome.
Isn't that amazing? So,
it really is.
Yeah, every time I get in front of agents, I'm like, okay, how many people you have in your database? How much money did you make last year? And it's like, whatever it is. So you take, okay, I made 50,000. 50,000, you have 200 people in your database, divided by 200. That is $250 per person in your database that you made, right? So what if we take 200 and make it 1,000? Do you think your income's gonna triple?
Right, exactly.
I mean, that's really how it works, because if you close 50 transactions or whatever it is with that many people in your database, I can guarantee if you double that database and you're connecting and engaging with them, you will double your business.
Well, the other thing that's really cool too is Zoho exports and syncs up with MailChimp.
Oh yeah. Oh right. Which is
and MailChimp is a free email service where you can send email templates and newsletters and customize them with the first name and everything, and up to 2,000 people in your MailChimp account, 2,000 email addresses is free. When you go over 2,000, it's like $10 a month or something, but up to 2,000 is free. So once all this data is cleaned And in Zoho, you can click a button in Zoho, and Zoho will send all your people to MailChimp, and then you can send out an email newsletter, and you're talking about 15 or 20 minutes worth of work to touch every single person you're connected to on Facebook, LinkedIn, and through your email.
Insane.
That's awesome. That answered. I was getting ready to tell you I had a couple of questions, and that was Glenn's question. Was what if I want to send to more than 200 of my contacts that I've now uploaded to Zoho? A couple of questions on that, if you don't mind, Denny, specifically on Zoho. Is that okay?
Absolutely.
Okay, cool. Jody was seeing that there is a part in the contact where you can see all the email correspondence relating to that email address. How do those emails get in there?
Well, what happens is when you send an email from the CRM, for instance, let's see if I can find that. When you send that email, like when you go right here and you click Send Mail right here,
okay,
then from that email gets stored right in that person's record. So
okay.
From then on, anytime you scroll down, you're going to see the email that was sent to him, and if he replied to that email, that's going to get stored in there too. So it's all automatic. Awesome.
Okay, so if you've got that up.
Yeah. So if you send and receive emails in there, can you do like you can with Gmail? And I mean, can you send an email like you can with Gmail, no matter what email it is?
Yeah, you can go in here, and when you set up your Zoho account,
okay.
You can have 3 or 4 email addresses, and you can choose. You can actually set up templates.
Okay.
So whatever the template is, it's sending from a certain email address.
Okay.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's really sophisticated. I mean, you could, I'm thoroughly impressed with this system.
Nice.
It's amazing, and as some of the going back to extracting your contacts, one of the questions that had come up, it's a fairly technical thing that you showed how to do in Facebook. When you go in and you get the text, the text information, where are you pasting that? Is that just a notepad?
Well, yeah, notepad would work. In this case right here, I highlighted the text, then I pasted it into Word.
Okay. I thought it was either Word or Notepad, and I couldn't remember if you did Notepad because it strips out everything.
But it's important when you paste it into Word to save it as a TXT file.
Okay.
TXT, correct.
Paste it into Word, and then you go Save As, and down here Format, you go Plain Text.
Okay. That strips out all the HTML code, right?
Right. If you save it as a doc file, you're never going to be able to import it into Excel.
Because it's got all the dots and dashes and your fonts and your colors and all that fun stuff in there. Okay, that makes sense. So Notepad would work as well, correct?
Notepad would work probably better because then you wouldn't have the choice to,
it strips it out already.
Right.
Okay.
So Word.
Awesome. So, one good question, and this is something, Denny, maybe you haven't checked on this yet, or perhaps you probably know a good way to do it. Can you extract your followers on Twitter?
Yeah, you can. As a matter of fact, now Twitter's more like Facebook, and I'm actually putting together a workbook right now on how to not only export what we just covered, but also export your Twitter followers and all your Google Plus.
Okay.
Because your Google Plus contacts, believe it or not, can end up being different than your Gmail contacts. So I'm putting it's a little more difficult than what I covered today. So that's why I'm doing a workbook with checklists, and because the more technical it gets, the simpler I try to make it.
So in other words, stay tuned.
Yeah, or if you're fairly technical and can figure stuff out, just go Google it. Go Google,
Google it, right.
Google export Twitter followers to CSV, and you'll find a couple different ways to do it.
Awesome, man. Dude, I'm not speechless much, man. That's why I was just sitting here going.
I know that it was, I knew how to do the LinkedIn thing, and I knew that it was fairly easy, as long as you knew where that little tiny button on the bottom of LinkedIn was. And I thought that the only way to get Facebook connections was a year ago. You could export them if you had a Yahoo email address, but that's been turned off as well.
Right, but the other thing you can do with Facebook because eventually Facebook's probably going to shut down this Friends to Gmail program.
Right.
Okay.
So another way to do it, which I'm also putting in this workbook, is you can still currently export your friends to Google Plus, and then Google Plus will allow you to download them.
Okay.
That's pretty funny that they allow that, to be honest.
Yeah,
those guys got a little, yeah.
Yeah, they got a TIF going, but
Yeah.
so there's some different ways to do this stuff, but I mean, it's always going to be changing, and which I suppose is good, because then that way people will keep paying attention.
Yeah, we still have jobs.
Right, exactly.
Right. Awesome, man. Denny, I sincerely appreciate it. Man, dude, I
Another
know I gotta
head
watch this
spinner.
again.
Yeah,
So,
I certainly am. I know I've already commented to a couple of people that had a question. I said, you know what, I'll be watching that specific part again myself, because I want to make sure that I get it right, because this is a huge thing to be able to do. Denny, again, you bring it every single time I talk to you, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, I said, I mean, this is one of those things that, I mean, and as I said, we've got this 5-part series going, but you can see now, after looking at Zoho, and it doesn't have to be Zoho, whatever CRM you want to use, but you can see how much better you'll be able to follow up and connect to your contacts that you're going to make through social media and online and through marketing by using a system like this, as opposed to getting a new contact online and basically just putting their email in Outlook, and then they sit there.
And you never managing your database is basically you're managing your pocketbook is what you're doing.
Yeah, and you're managing your relationships. That's
Absolutely.
It's all about relationships, man.
Hence 100%. CRM. I mean, it really is
Yes.
a relationship manager when it's done the right way.
Yes.
And and I mean, it's so funny because I fired off 20 of those been a while emails. I mean, I've got 1,100 and something contacts on LinkedIn, or I don't know what now, but I fired off only 20 of them, and that kept me on the phone for like 3 hours, and everybody going, Denny, it's so good of you to catch up, man. How did you know I was with and I was funny, I was talking to one guy, and I'm like, now where are you working again? And he's like, well, you just emailed me. And I go, yeah, I'll be honest with you, I didn't read it.
That's awesome. That is very,
Hey,
very
guys,
cool.
Quick question: we're gonna, and Paul, this is good news for us. We're gonna do this for the ATM Mastermind class. So coming up in 2 weeks, on the not next week, but the week after.
Cool, cool.
So it'll be an amazing class, yeah. And I'm working on some other massive news that I hope to have as well. But man, Denny, I look forward to. You know what? I can't wait to see it again, because I know every time I get on here, I'm like, I hear, you know how you hear certain things. When you pick up certain things, you remember certain things. So it's like, okay, yeah.
That could be because I don't remember what I said, so it's
That's
always
right.
changing.
I know. All right, brother. Hey, I appreciate everybody. Thanks for joining us. I know you can be anywhere. You spend it with us. And I sincerely appreciate that. Paul, have a fantastic weekend.
You as well, my friend.
Those big pictures of those fish you keep catching, man. That's some awesome stuff.
Oh, man, it's going to be a Mickey Mouse weekend this weekend, going to Disney.
Yeah. Cool. Right, bummer. Cool, man. Cool. Denny, I might be coming to Seattle, man. I might be coming to Seattle pretty. Yeah. I got some. I'm trying to work it out to come out there and see. And
well, shoot, buddy. I mean, I owe you one. I stayed at your place out there, so you got a place to stay here.
That's cool, man. I appreciate that. I look forward to it, man. So,
all right,
everybody. Have a good weekend, and we will see you here right here next week on the web. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.